My name is Thea. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to give you an overview of application cards, an informal assessment strategy. Before I go into what application cards are, first I will explain what informal assessment is. An informal assessment is a strategy that allows teachers to regularly check on students' progress. They can generally be done without a great deal of planning, and they put less stress on a student than a formal assessment such as an exam. As they are often simple activities, the teacher can provide quick feedback to the student. Application cards are one of many informal assessment strategies discussed in Angelo and Cross's classroom assessment techniques. So what are application cards? After learning principle, theory, or procedure, students are given an index card or post-it notes and asked to write down 1 to 3 real-world applications for the information they have just learned. Once each student has written down their 1 to 3 applications on their cards, they hand them in to the teacher. The teacher assesses each of the applications and sorts them into 4 categories: great, acceptable, marginal, and not acceptable. When making a judgment of each of the application cards, the teacher considers 2 questions. Is the application accurate? How reasonable or useful is the application? Once the applications have been sorted into categories, the teacher selects a range from each category to share with the class, ensuring students' names are not linked to the cards. Providing this feedback is important so students are left with a memory of a great example. The following is an example of how application cards can be used in a foundational physics class. The class has learnt Sir Isaac Newton's third law. To every action, there is always opposed and equal reaction. Students are asked to write down 3 real-world applications of this law to everyday life around the house. Here are some possible applications. A great example: hammering a nail into the wall to hang a picture. An acceptable answer: kicking a football in the backyard. A marginal example: the earth moving. This is true, but is not really localised to around the house. A not acceptable answer is getting ketchup out of a bottle, as this is an example of Newton's first law. This strategy is applicable to almost any subject, as most courses have a real-world application. It is most commonly used in social sciences, technical fields, and pre-professional courses. The pros of this strategy are: it encourages students to think practically about the theory they are learning. It is a simple way to show the teacher if students are understanding the concepts being taught. It allows learners to make connections to prior learning, which strengthens this learning. Showing real-world application of the theory can motivate the learners. The application card strategy can be limited if you are teaching something without many real-world applications, meaning students may struggle to come up with varied examples. Some best practices for this strategy are: ensure you provide feedback on the applications. It is important that students see some good examples, so they are not only left with a memory of a non-applicable example. Show a range of examples to the class so they can learn from other students' ideas. And finally, ensure any examples that are shared are anonymous, so students are not embarrassed. And that concludes this presentation on application cards. I hope you have found this video informative. For further information, please refer to the references shown on screen.